Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. So in this video we're gonna have a chapter review, reaction and read through of chapter 1167, and we have Ida's son. Okay, so is it I think Ida's son is not Loki but Hydrodin, right? Okay. Cover request. Okay, we still have a cover request. Interesting. Um, okay, let's see. We still past the God Valley thing or not? Okay. 33 years ago, 5 years after God Valley, a post God Valley world. I could have sworn pirates were approaching off the shore, but there was something huge and shadowy emerging from the mist behind them. Okay, this is Morgan's. The underwater prison impelled down. Everything just went kaboom after that. Our ship was in ruins. Before we knew it, we were nothing but fish food. Sure, it wasn't a Sea King attack. No way. It was shaped like a human. Don't tell me you were in the infamous waters of the Florian Triangle. Okay, this is Spanish. Make. Fat chance. We don't fish near that region. Everyone knows to avoid it. Anyway, that monstrous thing was definitely human-like. Okay. Um. Sheesh. Hurled, right? Sheesh, brother. Nah. The Nika pose? Okay. Oda is kind of overdoing the Nika pose. And this is the funny thing about starting anything. First stage is you get silence. Second, you get the criticism, or I say early believers. And the third stage is everyone praises you. And Oda is in this kind of a stage that no one can say, okay, Oda is doing bad things, because he's been giving us kind of the story for 30 years that is peak non-stop. But when you actually see it, there are some kind of problems in the paradise. And when you mention that, people are gonna get defensive because they have spent years growing up with this. And the funny thing that happened in the channel as well, that I have about like 6 or 7 channels, yeah, and I have a couple of Instagram accounts and other social medias as well. And every single one of them starts with a hate comment, and the hate comment goes for 1 or 2 weeks. And first it starts with silence, utter silence. You don't upload the first video and get a hate comment. I would love that, but you don't. And after that, couple of weeks goes by, and people see that, okay, this guy is not gonna stop, because for whatever the reason, this guy is just gonna keep going, and I don't like to see this guy keep going. So they start the hate comment. Like, I had a music reaction channel, that was there. I have other kind of channels, gaming channel, and people just love to hate, because it's just, you're attacking them as if personally, when you're criticizing what they love and what they kind of are accustomed to or whatever. And this is the same thing as well. Like, I read the comment and I was about to like answer it, but the comment was addressing something differently, like totally different. Like, I was talking about how the biggest conquerors on the planet, in Oda's world, which is rocks, and his conqueror's hockey, which is literally the power scaling of your will being turned into a kind of externalized metrics of power, equals Garp and Roger's hockey, and he still got brainwashed by Emu. And by the logic of the story itself is bad writing, because what's going to happen in 20 chapters and 30 chapters in 200 chapters, Luffy is going to resist that with his own will. When you have a character that has world conquering will that equals Rogers and Garp's combined, this character needs to not get brainwashed. If you're gonna do this, you cannot then in 200 chapters say Luffy has a strong will, so he's not gonna be brainwashed by Emu. This is not good writing. This is not even me saying anything. It's like Exhibit A is that in this world, willpower translates to hockey and conqueror's kind of ambition, and that turns into the great lightning and black lightning figures that everyone loves, which is Conqueror's coating and Conqueror's hockey. And Exhibit B is that Rocks is built to be a worldly conqueror, equaling Emu, which Roger and Garp combined, they basically barely equal his Conqueror's hockey. And we have had in the past that by having Conqueror's hockey, not only devil fruits, but every kind of manipulation techniques and whatever, you can resist by force of your will, because it's materialized in Oda's world. And now you have the strongest character just being brainwashed. I'm not adding anything to the argument. The guy literally said, and he was literally kind of putting emphasis on Garp was hero of the Marines before God Valley flashback started. That's good writing. Brother, I'm not even talking about Garp. I'm not talking about Rogers taking, like, giving ace to Garp. Do you even understand what am I talking about? This is the problem that I have with most people. You say A is this, B is this, but because their mentality is trained that 1 plus 1 equals 2, they're looking to shoehorn 1 plus 1 to give you the 2. When you say 1 plus 3 means what, they still say 1 plus 1 equals 2. Brother, the question is 1 plus 3 equals what? So I always want to get engaged with these kind of things, and because most of the time, I remember one time there was a bestseller who actually rolled up on my in my comment section on LinkedIn, and one of my writings, and he said, I'm a 20 times bestseller, I have a book deal for this, I have a movie deal for this, I have this. And I was like, brother, are you literally attacking me and saying, okay, you won? It took me 1 hour to actually read your accolades. Do you want to actually argue, and do you want to actually discuss something, or you want to just brandish your accomplishments at 50 years old? And this engagement, because it was kind of embarrassing to the guy, literally showing his pulling rank on me when I was just talking and having a kind of interesting argument. This guy literally apologized, removed his original comment, added another comment which was in the praise of my thinking and whatever, and after that left his email so I could send my writing to him so he could evaluate it. That was how he saved face. And we became good friends after that. So I do understand the preliminary kind of misunderstandings when it comes to this. I'm saying this and someone else understands that. But some of the time it's just like, brother, I'm not even talking about that subject. or making fun of my reading or whatever. Yes, I'm reading, and this is how I enjoy the content. I'm not uploading this for views, because I'm uploading this for like-minded people, and this is the fascinating part. And after seeing that comment, of course, your instinct is to just try to give up and say, okay, I don't want any kind of beef with other people. But then I thought, okay, I enjoy the story, and although the Rock's kind of death, or Rox is alive, I think, in even like Impel Down, and I've been literally writing for 18 years myself. I have so many best sellers and writer friends of mine who literally compare my writing to 50 different historical figures, from Dostoevsky, Nietzsche, to Kafka, to Foucault, all of that. And I'm not literally saying this to pull rank. I'm just saying that from my assessment and the logic that I'm following, this is bad story writing, because it's not consistent with the own rules of your own world. And people who are literally in the basement and they're just scrolling, they're just saying, okay, no, this is good story writing because everyone loves it. Yes, everyone loves it, but everyone could love the wrong thing because they're not in the craft of it. As I said, the emotional resonance of someone killing their own family is gonna resonate with every reader, because that's kind of cheap emotional resonance preparation for everyone. But is it consistent and congruent to the logic of the established story so far? It isn't. That's the whole argument. After that, I was about to say, okay, I'm not gonna do another reaction or whatever, and I'm literally yapping this one. But I noticed something, that I'm doing this because I like reading the story this way and yapping. And in the previous channel that I had a year ago, that I literally forgot forgot the name of the passwords and whatever, because it wasn't monetized anyways. um I was doing exactly this. I would go in front of the camera, I would record the chapters, and I would yap, and some people would theorize in the comments, and I would love that, because that's what it is for me. Or I started a 30 days challenge of 10 videos a day on my Instagram because I was bored. And now one of my things is on day 5 is going viral, and I'm feeling not only terrified of new people clicking on my face, and thousands of people literally following, as well as every time I go on Instagram there is some comment, there is some repost, there is some whatever of the thing, and I'm literally terrified of that, because I am not at least as of today, I am not ready for receiving thousands of followers on day 5 of what I'm doing for 30 days. Then I remembered, is it gonna change anything? No, because I started this to understand a couple of things about myself and about my own thinking, when put to the constraint of under 3 minutes video for Instagram, and also sharpening my delivery, as well as just sharpening my own thinking, because on day 1, 2, 3, and 4, I barely had enough content to talk about to in the 10 videos. But now it's literally half of the day, and I'm already 9 videos in, and I have literally 10 videos in my skull saved for tomorrow. I'm literally overflowing with ideas, and one of them is going viral, and people are resonating with it. People are literally commenting nice things, following and reposting, uh, whatever. But the objective for me is the same. I'm gonna make it to 30 days, see the data point, and decide if I'm gonna stretch this as of 30 more days of 10 videos a day or not. Am I gonna change it into another thing or not? Because this is the pathological curiosity that has gotten me here in life, that I have so many friends in governmental figures, in lawyers, bestsellers, privacy people, so many people around the globe. And whenever I go outside, I spark up a conversation with anyone because I'm just curious person. And I'm doing this because of the experiment of I just want to understand how do you run this fascinating kind of project of 30 years of coherent and consistent to logic of the own kind of a story writing, and I want to surpass this because I'm 26 years old and most writers peak around 40. I'm already 18 years deep into the writing, and what this means is that I'm already nearing the peak of my own writing and thinking in my 30s rather than my 40s and 50s. The Harry Potter thing that everyone loves was written when the author was literally in their 40s. The J.R.R. Martin thing was in his 50s or 60s. Or the Tolkien thing was around his 30s and 40s. Oda is just an anomaly to this case that he started at 17 and he has been going with the first couple of shots he got because he's Japanese, he can draw, he's a mangaka, and he just adores that. And he's started when he was 4. When he was 4 years old, he started drawing, based on what I remember. So I'm on par to surpass that. So I want to be inspired by all of the stimuli that I can get. I read a lot. I read a lot of psychology. I read a lot of law. I read a lot of neuroscience. I read a lot of manga. I read a lot of languages. I learn like every single day one aspect of life because I want to surpass this story that has inspired me for 10 years. And when I see something that is supposed to inspire me and meet this highest threshold of consistency across 30 years breaks down, it's a kind of insult not only to the time invested that I have had, but also it's an insult because it makes the competition easier for me. That my own stories, my own kind of um, creativity and innovation in storytelling is gonna be meeting the lower bar set because the story I adored so much after 30 years is breaking consistency. That's about it. But yeah, apparently uh, it's just so funny. Apparently, Oda over foreshadowed this when Garp was hero of the Marines. Brother, we're not talking about Garp here. And for one or two people watching this, or the same person watching this, I mean, the only comment that I have gotten on this channel so far. And it's very easy to find. It's literally one comment in the one or two videos ago. But let's continue. Okay, the Nika pose is doing like I don't mind, and the whole rant started from everyone doing the Nika pose. Like this guy is doing the Nika pose. The like a couple of chapters ago, Rox was doing the Nika pose. So many people are doing the Nika pose, and yeah. And the funny thing is, the fact about the majority is the majority had the consensus that Rox was a kind of a cheater because he would be buggy of the Rox pirates. He would be the weakest. Brother didn't even show his devil fruit and he was buddying everyone. So this is what the consensus of the masses gets you. There's a book that I kind of recommend everyone to read that is How Democracies Die or How Democracy Died. Because when you have 8.2 or zero point 0.3 billion people, most of them are gonna be hovering in the medium curve of intelligence. And the majority are most of the time wrong because the majority follow the safest path, and the safest path is to hate on someone who is rising, hate on someone who is kind of submitted themselves and their places because it's cool to hate on them, and always cheer on someone who's on the rise. And this is just so fascinating about like human psychology to me, that you have always the middle ground that is safe, because the most people and the majority are gonna be there. It's literally like the how connection and how networking, how all of these kind of pseudo soft powers emerged, because people understood that the smart guy is gonna make them look dumb. So they need to remove the smart guy and they need to remove the retard as well. So they can literally celebrate the excellence of the mediocrity remaining in the middle. That's why in every company, the guy who is rising through the ranks gets the most hate, because people cannot match it in ability, so they match it in ganging up to actually remove that guy. The same goes for uh, the lower part of the medium. When you are 80 IQ, when you are 90 IQ, when you are 100 is the majority. So when you are 80 and 90 IQ, people are gonna just hate you because you are not the majority, and not being in the majority is cool to hate on what is not in the majority. It's cool to hate on Musk. It is cool to hate on rich people because that's what the majority does, and that's what gets you the social acceptance of the other people. Even like the guy Robert Greene says that whenever you have novel thought and you have kind of novel way of thinking, people are gonna just think you're thinking you're above them, you're thinking that you're better than them, and they're gonna punish you for it, because they feel inferior to you. And if it's your intention or not, if you're just falling in love with an innovative idea, they don't care. As soon as they feel inferior and they are more of them than is more of you, they're gonna just remove you. This is the repetition in the human history, that the person who was right is gonna be right 200 years later, but for now let's kill him, and 200 years later we're just gonna say okay, he was right but we didn't know it. This keeps repeating over and over and over again, because the person who is smarter, who is kind of knowing better in certain aspect of things, this is intimidating to other people, because this intimidation shows how inferior they are. I always wondered why people hate on newer channels, because newer channel is the reminder of everyone who had an idea of doing a YouTube channel in their kind of niche and they didn't, and they're reminded of the audacity the new person is actually showing them, and this is kind of an identity and existential insult to them. But yeah, let's continue. It's been how long that I've been yapping? 20, 30 minutes, 23 minutes. Lovely. Um, okay. The identity of that monster was none other than Harold. Okay, this is a sick panel, by the way. Few who sailed those waters had never seen a giant with their own eyes. So to them, he was nothing less than the very embodiment of fear. I don't understand. Why is he attacking the ships? Harold now worked in the shadows to back up the Navy as part of his atonement for the last 1,000 years of history. Oh, okay, so it's basically because of the tariffs. So if they're going through the triangle, whatever, they are not paying tariffs to the government, so there needs to be a threat there, so they literally go through the gates of justice or whatever. So yeah, I get it. Meanwhile, the pirates who had gone their separate ways after God Valley, I'm fucking choking, interesting, continued to rise in prominence And over the next decade or so, each of them would peak to become a defining face of their generation. Can we see Shiki as an emperor? Most of these pirates simply clashed over territory. However, one crew broke through all the others. Okay. They were hailed as the crew of the king of the pirates. Okay, Roger, and Aiturishuka. The world was plunged into even greater turmoil as countless souls set out in pursuit of the vast treasure Roger left behind. I like this kind of recap to the current story. Okay, nice. No one had anticipated the advent of the great pirate era. Okay, a shallow sea contract, and that very year he was finally granted formal permission to visit the Holy Land. Who is this? Um, I think it's Harold, right? Okay. That is correct. Consider yourself the right hand of the God's Knight. God's Steel. It is a great honor. Okay, yap yap. You will only come to know the greatest depth of this world on the day you become a full knight of God. Could Elbaf become a member nation then? Okay. Okay, Garling is kind of growing. Naturally, Harold. At that point, the entire world would be clamoring, I don't know that word, to welcome you. I'm grateful for this opportunity to prove myself. Okay, this guy is this guy was supposed to be Lincoln. Now I don't know who the fuck Oda wants him to be. Okay, the Knight's Temple, Shangara Domain of the Gods. Okay, this is Shanks. I think yeah. You're gonna obey us even though you're king of Elbaf? What is the Great One planning? Figarland family, yeah. Yeah, this is Shanks, I think. We'll keep, or no, this is Shamrock, but looks like Shanks. I know they are twins, but there's some solid kind of Shanksness to him. Okay, this is kind of Shamrock, let's say. We'll keep a long distance transponder snail on hand and call if we have need of you. Okay, understood. I'm your lapdog. Okay. And he's gonna be happy being a lapdog. Lovely. 20 years ago, okay, he's going and saying, okay, I'm a lapdog, let's laugh it off. Okay, when time's right, why don't we betroth Loki to my future daughter? Interesting. Okay. That same year, old library Elbaf. Okay, this is Saul. This is Ida. Would you be willing to open a school here? A school? Huh, that's a nice idea. Okay. Let's see. This is the Fisher Tiger thing, okay. This is Shamrock. We're gonna see. Okay, these are the sisters. I love the recap that Oda is doing. Nice. This is the consistency that I'm saying, that to hold 1,000 name characters in your skull, you need to keep everyone coherent, because this is the thing about fiction and about lying. People think when you lie, you just replicate a door. You don't replicate a door. You need to match the door to the window, to the actual placement of everything inside of the room. That's why lying is a high maintenance of separate reality, because you cannot maintain That's separate reality, because when you literally change the angle of the door to what it was, even by 30 degrees, you literally need to change the whole kind of setting of the room to match that. And if it doesn't match that, there's a mismatch, and you're gonna be exposed as a liar. This is why stories are just matter of coherency and congruency. If you're not coherent and if you're not congruent to everything that has been set beforehand, it just falls apart. It's not just immersion breaking, it just breaks the story as a concept. But let's go. Okay, now we have a Shankos and we have Shamurak. Yeah, so this guy was the Shamrock. Um, Shanks got the thingy. Okay. His Shamrock's younger brother. They were separated a long time ago due to circumstances. He's suffered many hardships in the surface world. If he were to for a deep sea contract, I believe he'd make a great asset, on par with Shamrock. For the time being, however, he's been given the rank of God still, just like you. Okay, so they're not God's Knight still. I like the criticism of surface world filth being on Shanks. I do like that. I do like that choice. I know I said the same thing when I first met Shamrock too, but I can't shake the feeling that I've met you before. Guess I mistook you for someone else. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just some giant commoner from the surface. Okay, he's just playing the role. Definitely, he's just role playing to get more information from the God's Knight. It's just like so easy. Okay, don't act so familiar with me. This is not Shanks. This is not even Shanks, who was raised by Roger Pirate. So basically, Roger said, "Hey, you're gonna be the rat, you're gonna be the snitch, and you're gonna be a good snitch." Okay. I was blessed from birth with Figarland blood. See, the guy is literally just giving too much emphasis on being evil. That's the problem with lying, because when people lie, they overtalk. They share more details that reality needs. And that's why I'm fascinated about this story of the imagery of having a door. If you tilt the door by 30 degrees, you need to match the room to the door, so the door feels real, so the room feels real to the door. But when someone is lying because they know that the door is tilted 30 degrees to reality, they randomly say, hey, look at the bird is literally outside the window. Brother, no one actually gives a fuck about the bird outside of the window. You just need to make sure that the door that you've tilted in your mind for 30 degrees has a window that matches the actual kind of placement of the door. But because people are anxious about the window's kind of relative positioning to the door get kind of revealed, they not only put more than usual emphasis to the placement of the window, but also they say, oh, hey, I see the bird as well. This is a very great window. This is what lying is about. So have no doubt I'm going to become a knight of good before you. Yeah, you are, my guy. You are. I hated everything down there. Yeah. I believe you. I believe you, my guy. Come on, Shamrock. I wish to deepen my knowledge of the Holy Land. That's what you are actually there for, my guy. And I shall apprehend the traitor to claim the credit I deserve. Are there any leads? It can wait till your wounds are fully healed, Shanks. You cannot fathom the anguish of having the last 24 years of your life wasted. No wonder the rest of the world seemed so alien to me. Yeah. Saint Steel Devotee, Figarland Family, Saint Shanks, Knight of Goods, Figarland Family, Saint Shamrock. I hated everything down there. I know, my guy. I know, my guy. Harold knows as well. Harold knows as well. I to the shuka. I'm not gonna read all that. It may not be much, huff huff, but I feel like I'm helping Harold by doing that. Okay, this is nice crew. Nice crew. And to the shuka, Loki. I hope Oda doesn't butcher Loki. I don't think he's gonna do it because you can butcher so many things at once. But okay, is Loki gonna kill this guy, this girl? Okay, Mato, we can't hold off on ringing Harold anymore. How we may not be related by blood, but I see him the same way I do Haradin. Okay, so basically it's Loki. Loki is still my cute little son. Loki, hey, Ida isn't really gonna die, right? I still remember my birth mother. She hated me. She had me thrown into the realm of the dead. Who gives a shit about inheritance? Your whole family is nothing but trash. Now, answer Ida. Ida won't actually die, right? Who is he choking here? She is the only mother I've ever known. I bet you must get pretty lonely, right, Loki? Wouldn't it be better to stay with us? Yeah, basically, yeah. The found family and the thing with what is it? Found family and blood relatives. Oda must have quite the experience with this because he's hitting this home with every single character. I'm interested into what inspired Oda to do this because he doesn't seem to have a bro in his life that has let the public know, and there's not much on his found like blood relatives and blood family as well. Yeah, maybe we're gonna see. Elbaf, Alcohol Village, hometown of Loki's birth mother. What do you just say? What did you just say? We were talking about how utterly unbearable it be to let that foreign bitch worm her way into the royal family. You're with us, right, Loki? Okay. He literally killed this woman then. Okay. That's why I slipped her a dose of poison. The stuff is fatal. Her days are numbered. Yeah. Okay, this is Mjolnir then. This is, yeah, he literally, okay, he crashed out because his mom, not actual mom, but mom, was threatened. Okay, interesting. Yeah, Ida is an interesting character to me. But yeah, that's for this video reaction review. I really enjoyed the Loki's bit. His Oda is great at pulling his strings together. I don't know what the fuck happened with rocks, but we don't talk about God Valley. God Valley never existed.